Hi everyone, I am Jude Hotep, the goddess astrologer and alchemical initiatrix. We are going to get into the chart for this week and go over today, the 4th of May, I think, the 3rd of May, Tuesday. So I'm going to share the screen with you and go over that. I hope you're having an amazing week. This is the Alchemical Goddess Astrology Intuitive, the daily Alchemical Goddess Astrology Intuitive. Getting used to saying that. I think I like the name. See if that name seems to work for me. Probably should name it something different than Alchemical Goddess is named. We'll see. We'll see what sticks around, what stays. So this is this beautiful energy of Taurus, the North Node here, and all of this like energy that wants to ground, it wants to be comfortable, but then Venus moved into Aries. So Venus is very much wanting to take action and do some fun things, and wants to bring people along with her, and wants to be active, be adventurous, go out and live life. And her and Mars are in a mutual reception because Mars and Pisces would rather be in Aries, and that's Mars's sign, and Venus is exalted in Pisces. So they're in a mutual reception right now, and so they're talking to each other and having this relationship, and it's the divine feminine, divine masculine, right? Or it could be the wounded feminine and the wounded masculine. So where are you at with that? This energy is about, eclipses. We're in eclipse season. We have another one coming up in 2 weeks. And then we have a new moon at the end of the month to close out May. This month is going to be really active with a lot changing, a lot of planets shift. Jupiter will be shifting, and Mercury is going retrograde in the 10th. So there's a lot happening with Mercury and its shadow. It's very much like an internal processing in the mind. And so this is what we do in Alchemical Goddess, right? Is release the mind to live in our divine feminine, to live in our intuition, to be running our lives, running our business, running our money from that place, really resourced within. Difference between fully resourced, and self-care. So really different. Like, are you having fun? Because so many people appease and placate themselves with scrolling, with different things to be appeased, with binge TV, with things like that, instead of actually living the adventure and going, having amazing fun and doing the things you want to do and trying new things. There's a lot of things, and you really can't use money as an excuse, because when you do that, you're pushing money away. You're not living in the truth of abundance. I'm not saying that you just instantly have more money than you do, but money is also a mindset. It's a way of being. It's an abundance. It's how you think about the world, and it's trusting in your path, and it's also healing the wounds in your chart, because everyone has wounds in their chart. And so people usually play out the lowest octave of their chart. They play out the south node instead of moving into their destiny point, the north node. And so you can see many people are in the psychologizing, the polarity, and the other person has to be wrong, this group is right, not looking at all views. And Mercury is about looking at the higher view above the duality, because it has the duality, but it's about looking above that. And Pluto is wanting to go deep into the underworld to explore what's inside. And so it is going deep and plunging into the depths of what's within us and what wants to come up for transformation. Pluto likes to get rid of everything that doesn't serve a purpose. It doesn't help us grow and evolve. And so that's why life, when you have Pluto aspects, it can feel like life is so crazy or challenging, because Pluto's like, we don't need this, so let's have a car accident, or we don't need that, like somebody dies and they get sick. It's big things because you weren't listening or weren't able, because of healing and needing to work with the mind, able to hear the messages that have come before. So Pluto, it's very internal and going into the depths to talk about like the deeper parts of yourself. And there's a trine to the moon today. There's a trine to Mercury today. The moon's in Gemini at 8 degrees, and Mercury's at 2 degrees Gemini, and Gemini is Mercury's sign. So Mercury is right at home, feeling comfortable, but very much internally looking within. So instead of weighing things out and being in your head, look at the above larger picture of divine love? Is it of divine love? Is it at that higher place, or are you down in the south node Scorpio psychodynamics and dramas and people and what they're doing and down in the muck? So it's really just the inner work of facing the shadow, feeling our emotions. With the moon and Gemini, it could be lots of ideas bouncing off of each other, and a very productive and very focused energy. It can be just a fun, happy, very conversational energy. But there is this semi-sextile between Uranus and Chiron that's asking us to heal so we can raise into higher frequency, Uranus and Taurus, so we can heal our identity and our ego into that healthier ego, that healthy expression of knowing who we are and being on the adventure and being independent, being fiery and lit up, that Aries energy, and wanting to have fun and wanting to instigate, to start, to initiate, to like start projects and to go out on the adventure and to be in that energy. And so Venus is like supporting the healing of our identity. Venus is love. It's our relationships, it's our harmony, our balance, it's our beauty, it's our ideas about our worth and our value and about like what makes life worth living. It's our values that you have to get deeper than just like, well, I value honesty and trust and whatever, but it's like, well, what about honesty? Honesty is about context. So if you're telling the truth about everything and you're making yourself insane and that doesn't really serve the purpose, it's like, okay, you can tell a lie to get somebody off the phone. That's a customer service rep. Are you really telling a lie, or is it the context? So everything, truth is about context, and intention. The intention's not the lie. The intention's just to get off the phone because it doesn't serve either of you. They have more calls to take and you're done with the phone call. And so it's just like, okay, bye. You don't have to go into a long story and field 10 more questions from them, right? The conversation's over. So I have clients where it's like this dedication to such a cute truth, but it's not really truth. That's a perspective of truth. Truth is about context. Saying somebody was rude is not true. Like, they are funny. So in one perspective and dynamic, they're really funny. In another perspective and dynamic, they're rude. So it depends on the context. So perception is not truth. Mentalization, thoughts are not truth. So we have to really look at our mind and look at our thinking to see if it's serving us, if it's helping us, if it's creating positive emotions, or if it's not helping us. And so Mars is in this energy of really taking initiative for the highest things that bring our self-worth, and this is the higher octave. So use this energy, and Saturn is asking us to disconnect, to stop hanging around, to stop pretending, and stop being unhappy with things you just don't vibe with, whether it's food, whether it's errands, business, people, situations, things you think you have to do. You don't have to do things that society says you have to do. That's a spell. Those are lies. Those are prescribed living. There's a life that's prescribed by the overculture that binds everyone up into thinking that this is the way, and it's on the deep heels of religion and all of these institutions that were created to control humanity and to disconnect them from their divinity and your connection to the sacred. So there's so much power today with really standing in your truth and your light. Like, that's where you're going to find a lot of power today, is like, take initiative on the things that make you happy. Do the things that make you feel joyful, and release what you think you have to do that you don't love and you don't want to do. It's really just the mind that creates these stories that you have to do things. There's wolf spirit, but in protection. And so wolf spirit is about knowledge. And also wolf spirit can be ravenous. Wolves can be really ravenous if they haven't had things a long time. They've been really restricted for a long time. And that Saturn can really titrate your destiny, titrate you being on sacred mission, titrate what you think you want in your life, and really feeling like you have a lot of things that are missing that you really want to have, that you're not studied enough, or that you don't know enough, or things that you want in your life, or soulmate relationships or soulmate clients. And so with wolf spirit, there can be this ravenous, because wolves, when they get cut off from their food source for too long and they become starved and malnutrition, they when they finally get to food, they will just kill on a killing spree and not eat or anything because something in their homeostasis got so, the wires got so tangled up that they don't have the responses, connecting the same way. And that's the only time wolves ever kill for no purpose, and it's because they were so cut off from their food supply. And so think about that with the wolf. Like, where is that at in your life that you're just going crazy extreme because you've been so restricted? And how can you release those restrictions that are self-imposed via our perception? It's a perception about what you can and can't do. It's not truth. And so really look at how you're caging yourself in with your own thoughts and thinking about the situation. That's what we break through in Alchemical Goddess. You break through these spells, you break through this conditioning to live the dream life, like immediately, to start really living life and being alive. Like, some people scroll to appease themselves and thinking that like they're escaping, having fun, but the real thing to have fun would be going and riding dirt bikes, going and jumping out of a plane, going and learning a new sport, going surfing, going on the adventure, going on a hike, or going dancing, whatever it is that you love, fill in the blank. But it's like people choose to just scroll or just binge on TV or just do these like appeasement kind of escapism activities instead of actually going and doing the fun shit, like go to the vapor caves, go to all natural springs, like climb a mountain, see a waterfall, like go bike riding, go mountain biking, go skateboarding, like really live life. And that's something that's really up in the collective, that people, the Aries, the Chiron and Aries, like people aren't really realizing that it's time to take initiative for the adventure that you really want to live. We have Butterfly Spirit, which is all about transformation, but it's in reverse. So it's saying that you're resisting the transformation that's here for you. Eclipse season that we're in, we just had this eclipse in the weekend. It changes so much. It's about change, and it's about really taking your claimed place of leadership in the place of transformation, understanding that we just keep transforming, especially on this ascension journey of spiritual awakening and of being in the light and being a light goddess, really working for something higher, for something much bigger, for humanity moving into higher consciousness, into love-centric, heart-centric based society. So this is what we're doing with our work. What is your part in that? What is your healing? What are the inhibitions that are holding you back? Release the resistance to the transformation. Change is not bad. Change is good, but unless you have a subconscious belief that change is negative, assuming that change means disaster, most people have to work and change that belief, because you have to actually go in and reprogram your subconscious belief that you believe things change for the better. So really look at that belief, because it can be quite profound. Because if you are resistant to change, it's because you think that it's going to be worse, and because you're so attached that Uranus and Taurus is helping us to let go and to detach from things that we think are so good when they're barely good. They're barely feeding our light and our joy, but we're just so comfortable, and it's the good we found, and so we want to keep a hold of it so that we're afraid that we might not find any more good. Go into the adventure, trust spirit, let go. You have Scarab, Beetle. Magic works through you. So you are the magic by your clear divine channel, by being in the flow. And all this Pisces energy wants to flow, wants to surrender and relax, and to let go of the vices, let go of the addictions and the things that really sublimate your divine feminine light. You have Koi Spirit. There's always enough, but it's in reverse. So it's saying that you don't believe in abundance. You don't believe this world is fully resourced. And it is 1,000% the way you're looking at it, that you only think there's these certain ways that you can get money. There's these certain ways that clients come in. There's these certain ways that the fun happens, or that you can go on a vacation. When you narrow your thinking to it only being a few ways that something can happen, then of course you don't see the abundance. The truth is that there's 1,000 ways something could happen. There's 1,000 ways you could go on a trip. There's 1,000 ways you could experience joy. There's 1,000 ways that you can bring money in, or that money can come to you. Are you connecting with your guides and source? Are you healing the wounds in your chart around abundance? That's what we do in Alchemical Goddess. And Spirit, time to collaborate. So it is time to connect with other people. Aquarius, Saturn and Aquarius square the nodes is asking us to connect with the people that are soul tribe, that are of like mind, that are kindred. Connect to people. The way you get clients is by connecting to as many people as possible. You talk to people all the time and you make real, genuine connections. And the people that are meant to be come in, and you connect. You have to connect to people and talk to people. And that's the way you get friends, collaborations, meet groups, find out new information, learn about new ideas. It's the only way to make soul tribe and to make great friendships and to meet partners. Starfish spirit, again, it's in protection, open to infinite possibilities. So there's really this fear and this not wanting to believe in the good and believe that in infinite possibilities, believe that all of the good is here, that spirit is bringing you everything, that you're co-creating this magic, that the magic comes through you and you're co-creating with spirit, that there, like I was just saying, there's 1,000 ways to do something. There's 1,000 ways to look at a situation. So when you're looking at a situation from a really narrow view, which Aries can do. So if you look at Venus in Aries and Chiron in Aries, that can be the lower octave of really thinking there's only one way to have beauty, only one way to have money, only one way to have partnership and harmony. And so it's really about understanding that that's one way to look at it. What's another? And you start to really loosen your grip on thinking that the thoughts are truth, thinking that beliefs are truth. They're not. They're just supposition. They're just an interpretation. Even the things that have happened in your past, it's your interpretation of the facts of what happened. So understand that our beliefs, our thoughts make us have feelings, and those feelings and thoughts can bounce off each other and create more feelings and thoughts when they're never dealt with, when the feelings are never released. Listen to the Light Goddess podcast episode for today. It's a very powerful episode that will help you shift and really release fear. So it's a powerful episode. The episodes this week are going to be good. So there's 354 episodes. If you listen to those, you will shift, you will raise your frequency. We have Grasshopper Spirit, take a leap of faith, that you must believe that things do work out, that the good is here for you, that things change for the better, that life has shifted. We go through challenge, pain, and loss, and really having a guide to help you face that and heal that is what's so powerful. That's what's transformational about coaching, to always have a guide, support, someone in your corner, and also to learn those skills, to learn the skills of how to support yourself, how to manage your brain, because we're always going to be a human with a brain. Most people clean their kitchen counters more often than they clean out their mind, and then their mind is just a cesspool, creating the life that they're sitting around complaining about. So it's like, as a light goddess, you have a big sacred calling, you have a big mission here to do something powerful and to be visible in the world. It's time for women to stop being invisible in this world and to have large platforms and to be changing the world. So Grasshopper Spirit is to believe in the good of your life and to take those risks and step out. They only feel like risks inside yourself, but the real risk is dying with never having done any of the things you really want to do in this life. Canary Spirit is be yourself, but it's in protection. So it's like you're trying to be like other people. You're not really doing your own hair color or your own haircut or your own style of dress. You're not really innovating and being your true self. Be unique, be you. Try on new types of self-modification. Try on new ways of speaking and saying and thinking. Just innovate who you are, but be you authentically. Stop trying to be like other people, because trying to fit in will do you in, because those aren't the people. If you have to fit in to be with people, they're not kindred, they're not your soul tribe. Why do you want to be in that kind of psychodramas and always trying to figure out other people? Why don't you want to be in a flow and ease with people and just be in the joy? Wasp Spirit, that there is challenge, pain, and loss in life, but it's how we narrate it that we will think of it as a catastrophe, or we'll understand that it has lessons. It's part of our journey, that we're on a journey that risks the dark. And so it has lessons, it has meanings. And if you don't get the lesson, you will have more challenge, pain, and loss, because that lesson is meant for your soul to learn. And until we learn our lessons and really understand our lessons from what we experience, we will keep going through it over and over. So it's really important to mine our experiences for the lessons, to really understand very clearly what is happening there and why, because that's where things will shift powerfully for us. That's where we will move into the empowerment of that challenge, pain, and loss, that we use it for our work that we do in the world, that it changes us, it grows us, it evolves us. You actually, when you do that inner work and you come out the other side, it's powerful, because you are empowered and you retrieve your own ability, sovereignty, power, confidence, your own love for yourself, your own humility, compassion, and understanding of this human earth plane thing that we're all doing when you go through that inner work. So it's so powerful. The Light Goddess podcast is daily. I hope that you're listening to those episodes. It's not a subscription service, it's free. They're incredibly powerful. They will give you insights and help you transform and help support you on this journey. You can also book an astrology reading with me at thegoddessastrologer.com. If you are not working with your chart, it is like being in the desert without water, to not be knowing your chart and knowing you. It's about knowing who you are, to grow deep self-love. When you start to realize it's all right there in your chart, the insights and the ecstatic bliss that can come in is profoundly transformational. So you can get your individual chart reading done with me, or you can apply for Alchemical Goddess, which is my coaching program where I use your chart and I do shamanic coaching, and life changes and we move through the spiritual awakening, divine feminine awakening, to your goals of being a soulpreneur, making money, being in your sovereignty, being your power, your confidence, and having the soulmate relationships that you truly desire. So sending you lots of love. Please like this video. I hope you'll share it with other people so more women can find it. And I hope you'll subscribe. Sending you lots of love.